Alright, good morning, guys. Good morning. Happy fucking Friday. Ah, alright. This thing out of the way here. Got my iced coffee, feeling good. Beautiful Friday. Let's see if we can make some more money trading today. Where can we focus? Oh man, these things do not continue overnight. Oh, S&P hit fresh lows. Oh, did US 30? Interesting. And Bitcoin dropping below 117,700. Sad day, sad day, sad day. No, we can't drop below here, family. This is like, this is my critical level. That's of course. Of course. So as long as we hold above here, it's a fantastic day no matter what. Surprise stream, good morning. Yeah, surprise stream is right. A bonus stream on Friday, a little public stream. Kind of really just wanted to see the indicator work out this morning. Now that I kind of fully polished it and got everything ready to go. So I figured, hey, why not stream it? I'm gonna be up here trading anyway. Oh yeah, we're gonna watch the open, see what happens. Again, it's a super casual stream. I'm really just gonna kind of keep music on and do my thing here. And if people watch, great. If people don't, great. Oh, how much is this? I do find it interesting that NQ has held its overnight lows, while ES and the Dow have pushed a little bit lower. Might be some opportunity here. Yeah, I would love it if we got like another push down on NQ. If we could retest below here, I would love that. If we can hold above this, maybe S&P, same thing, like replay into this long candle would be like fantastic right in the open. I mean, like a lot of volume into these long candles. I mean, this one's not as nice. Yeah, if we can get a nice push, even back down into this like little liquidity pocket right at the open. We could do that, we could print something, I'll be all over these for buys. Unless the sell side really just is that strong. NASDAQ, again, did end up playing out to the sell side yesterday. More than once, and then overnight with Trump and tariff news. S&P eventually broke out higher, which was unfortunate because I took a loss on that. The Dow, of course, ran higher as well, but we weren't really looking at shorting that one. NASDAQ. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Again, like, we're still within the trading range here. Still forming a new trading range, so it's like you're playing with these highs, you're also forming these lows. Maybe you come and attack these lows one more time for an expanding range. Again, maybe today we don't hold up there, but we target down here. And maybe this pushes even a little bit further, then maybe it comes back up into the range. Again, you could still take out these lows. Again, S&P still has levels that we want to see on like the 4-hour time frame get taken. Well, maybe we still again stay range, but it's Friday, so again, push to the edge of the range here on NQ, and then maybe close back up. I was in a NAS buy all day long. Asia It didn't do anything. Yeah, unfortunately, like, if you held that overnight, I mean, again, like, it did, like I shared yesterday, and again, like, I still recommend that we only stick to New York session trading using the way these indicators are quoted, but it did call that absorption off like a Trump, like, panic sell. And again, not that it didn't do anything overnight, I mean, it definitely moved a decent amount of points overnight. I mean, it's like 90 points, not bad to partial out on. The only thing that sucked was the risk to reward. Because again, this kind of printed, if you're scaling in after the alert printed, again, maybe you got something down here as like an average price. So again, you're like risking the low, even if you're putting a few points below the low. The risk to reward is not fantastic. It's like a 1 to 1.5, almost like a 1 to 2 maybe, depending on your risk. Which again, for some people is great. Some people, that's what they target every day. Statistically, that doesn't help us though, so... Again, I didn't personally take these because it was out of session, but it is annoying. And then again, if you didn't go break even or anything, things like the S&P eventually just took you out. Same thing with the Dow. Like eventually, this just ended up taking you out. So again, it alerts on the flow of momentum, and it's not always good for a full run though. So yeah, if you just sat in that all night with no stop loss at break even or anything, yeah, you're waking up to just basically break even price. And again, maybe this still works. Again, just holding the stop loss, holding the low, but at this point, you'll probably just replay it in the morning off a fresh execution model and not have to worry about that. Yeah, I really do recommend you guys stay just New York session only. It's going to be a lot more accurate that way. And there's really no reason to be chasing trades during Asian session most nights. Again, there are really fantastic Asian sessions, and like I would still take a personal look at it. But I guess it's very rare you get the overnight hold where it doesn't retest during London, you know, continues all the way through London, continues through New York. Those are great days, but they're rare. It's maybe once to every 2 weeks to a month you get like a really, really nice day like that. And you combine that over like 3 or 4 assets again, like you're maybe getting that like once a week somewhere. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna see what the open has for us here. Again, I would like to see some sell-off on some decent volume, and then see if we can potentially fade that. If nothing looks good on the fade though, and it just looks like it's gonna run all day, we'll step away then. I am gone today. I'm gone later today. I have a flight at like 3:30. I gotta leave here at 3:30. Yeah, well, I'll be live for like until like 10:15 maybe, 10:30ish. Yes, sir. You know it. Well, specifically Scottsdale, but yeah, flying into Phoenix. It's gonna be hot as shit, but it's okay. I have my little plan for what I'm doing. I'm not even gonna really be out during the day. Quick little weekend trip. Seeing a show and getting the fuck out of there. Who knows? I might extend it. We'll see. See how hot it is. I know today it's about to be fucking Death Valley, I'm sure. By the time I land, hopefully it'll cool down. Alright, let's see what we get here. We got 8 minutes till the open. Gold has been on a pretty good tear overnight. I think this was an alert that this had pulled out. So this is what I'm saying, like some overnight session trades are really good. I don't know if this is, what is this? I don't even know what that is. Oh, it's like a 1 minute position. Again, the 1 minute, as I say, if you're gonna play the 1 minute, be prepared to lose a lot more. We'll see if this forum's anything too. This, I don't know if I'd want to play this to the sell side. Been pretty bullish gold. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I was gonna play a sell side signal on this, I would only want to play from above the high. I mean, this is kind of interesting, like taking out these highs, but we've kind of overextended past that. I feel like I would have wanted to play that a little further down. I mean, you could take out a bunch of this like old reaccumulation if it is gonna sell off. You can look at stuff like this for targets. Maybe this forms something here on the 15-minute if the volume really wants to kick in the next 5 minutes. But I'd be looking for like a retest of that. This 5-minute probably prints on the old one. Yeah, this probably prints here in 30 seconds. I'm in Asia. Oh yeah, you are in Asia. Yeah, that must be ideal. Honestly, dude, you gotta let me know how that is. It's gotta be like, I don't even know what time is it where you're at right now. Hold on, I'll mute up real quick. Yeah, well, it's gotta be like 10 o'clock there at night. Something like that. Like that's not bad either. If you stay up pretty late, you could still trade New York, like 9 to like midnight. It's not terrible. I'm surprised this didn't call this. This must have mathematically been too big, huh? 680, 157. Yeah, that might actually be mathematically too large. That kind of sucks. Alright, we got 5 minutes here to the open. This is calling the OG indicator is calling buys on US 30 already on the 15-minute. Calling pre-market buys. That's calling that on S&P as well. Yeah, I don't hate this idea. Again, I would like to see this retest at the open. I would still like to see a sell-off. I wouldn't be surprised if we break below here. Just because, again, the pre-market ones have a lower success rate. But I don't hate those setups below these lows. Like, that's ideally what you want to see. Is push below here. Again, volume is lower as well. Not that it wouldn't be because it's Asian session volume, so... Or this is more of the Trump-induced volume versus free market volume. Yeah, I still think for Nasdaq's sake, though, I'd like us to take out some pre-market lows right here at the open. And then I'm going to prepare to potentially play to the buy side. We'll see if we actually execute on it. I have the idea, but again, we need the market to give us a reason to do it. Otherwise, I'll wrap up my day early here since it's a Friday. And if we run right out the bat too, again, we'll watch it for like 15-20 minutes if it does run right out the bat, just to see if some of the other momentum kind of kicks in, but I'm a little less interested in playing that, I think. The thing about this too is, like, I was discussing this with somebody last night. This is like an ideal type of like live OB. And again, more than anything, it has nothing to do with this 5-minute chart. It doesn't have anything to even do with the indicator calling it out. It has everything to do with its location of playing right into a lone candle. Again, it's everything to do about the POI. It's like you have and I hate the 30-minute chart, but this is the only chart this lone candle lives on. And again, I wasn't watching this myself, but people I discussed it with were. Again, so you have that 30-minute lone candle, you come up, you sweep that. You have the POI, and then it forms just beautiful live OB execution. And then again, for this, you could have ran, again, some sort of low inside of here, whether you're gonna do this low up here, this, maybe you're even looking for the ultimate low, which you never really got, but, I mean, if you don't fucking partial out of that move, yeah, I don't even know what to tell you. Because that, again, the stop loss is small. This is a 1 to 8 here. There's no reason why you're not partialing out when you're above a 1 to 5. You gotta take something off the table at some point there. So as that drips down, I'm sure you partial out somewhere inside of here, you know. Like as you see that moving down, it's great to just take contract off. Again, this is EU. You wouldn't be trading contracts unless you're trading it on 6E, which many of us do not do, so. Alright, index is moving up here right at the open, so still hoping we test down. Might not get what I want though. Yeah, probably not, right? Of course. Oh, RIP to my trade idea. Why didn't this one get called then? I should've... This one should've at least got called, no? Yeah, I guess if you played these pre-market order blocks are the only thing you could have taken. Again, I'm still not gonna jump into anything here myself. Again, we could just be pushing up above some of this pre-market price action and still full here. So I want to see if anything kind of forms here after the open. And I would be open to both ways. If I was gonna play to the sell side though, I'd probably prefer to play like NQ above some of the Asian session highs, only because this hasn't broken the overnight low, whereas like ES and the Dow both broke lower already. So I feel like there'd just be better opportunity in this playing catch up than me trying to chase NQ or me trying to chase ES or the Dow. Oh yeah, we did that. Alright, we'll see if anything forms here. Gold, 5-minute OB, 15-minute gold, and gold. This is calling for absorption, which again, you want to try to get a better entry than what it has marked. So ideally, retest of here. We got called on the 5-minute though. I don't think it called anything on the 5. I don't think either. Yeah, either of these called it on the 5. Yeah, I don't know what settings you have for the 5-minute. Yeah, this is calling for 15-minute absorption, so we'll see how that plays out. I'm not gonna look to play that quite yet. If this had confirmed with volume, if we got both signals, I would jump in this. I was really expecting that 15-minute to try to get the volume closed too. But again, ideally, if you were gonna try to fade this, And again, still too, I would prefer this happening above this high. Yeah, you always gotta ask yourself, is the location ideal? I mean, you have some liquidity pockets here. Some people might like it better than others. But you would try to scale in here, then just try to run this high. But I still think that gold probably pushes above 33.66, so I probably wouldn't be taking any alerts until we clear that high, personally. Well, we'll see how that develops over time. Again, it's just learning of things mathematically happening between the supply and demand. We still have to use our own judgment here. Yeah, see, like Eric said, like taking that Wednesday high would be more ideal if you were gonna try to play gold to the sell side. Especially considering our bias is like bullish on gold. Like there's really no reason for us to be looking for sells. This is what I tell you guys all the time too. Is like your model is always going to show itself in both directions, right? That's why most people, the first thing they tell you is to like identify your bias, identify the trend, right? Are you going to continue with the trend? If you are, there's no reason to even look at any alert that prints the other way. And if you guys want to, I can even build a bias setting into this, so you could just turn it on and be like, yeah, only show me buys, and it'll just only look for buys. The thing is, I like it printing. I like to be alerted of potential reversals. Just because, again, sometimes the liquidity is good enough, or, again, like, maybe, again, you are super bullish on something, but you're not opposed to the idea of playing it the other way. So, again, for the average everyday person, it really just depends. Like I tell you guys, I prefer more alerts, because at the end of the day, my edge is me, right? And your edge is you, right? Even if you're trading the same strategy, trader discretion is everything. Right, whether or not you decide to take something. That's why, even while like holding the indicator, like we learn that like this prints way more alerts than like I would ever look at personally. And it's not because the alerts are not forming or that I'm not seeing them. It's just because, again, like you're using that discernment. Like you know subconsciously this is not where I'm looking for a position anyway. So the fact that something forms here is irrelevant to me. Well, it's not irrelevant to the code. The code doesn't care. The code's like, hey, what you told me to look for, it's happening. Oh, what's that? What do we got here? A new trade formed on the S&P. See, now this I would take. Actually, I might even take this, honestly. See, this is S&P though. Is NASDAQ did not form this? The Dow called it too. I really would prefer to short NAS. Might just take this for science reasons, honestly. NASDAQ, you going to alert too in a moment? Look to scale into this, ideally above these candles. Holding for stop above there. Do we have good liquidity to target? What can we target below? It's worth my money. Really not. If we really sell off, we can maybe get below here. We'd have to in order to take this. Alright, I'm gonna take a test contract here. I'm also gonna tighten up my stop. I'm not gonna run my stop that high. I'm gonna run my stop above this other high here. If that ends up fucking me, then so be it. But I'm not running that wide of a stop. Alright, I'm only in with this on one. I'm just testing this out, but we're gonna look for 6220 on the S&P here, or well, the equivalent of that on ES. Need a Trump tweet. I mean, you got some yesterday. Sure, Trump was talking about tariffs yesterday. That's what induced the sell-off. We're gonna see if this ends up working out. Entry's a little lower here. Let's see, the most recent Trump news. I mean, we were looking at 35% tariffs on Canada. I don't think he mentioned anybody else last night. I think it was just... he probably made other comments, but in terms of, like, headlines that came through, I only seen a 35% tariff on Canada. There's the NASDAQ pullout. Oh, there's the NASDAQ pullout too. You probably could have just played NASDAQ 2 instead, because if it calls 1, again, not that they always move together, we know that from yesterday, because NASDAQ fell yesterday, and ES and the Dow continued higher, so they don't always move together. We probably could have jumped into this and front ran it. Again, like, if it's gonna alert on something like this, again, if you're gonna take it right on the alert, I would not recommend running a stop this wide. Again, as you guys know, that's just not in my style at all. So I probably would tighten this up as well, like, you know, reaching something like this. Or again, if you're seeing something like this, just hoping that you can get like a better entry in the middle here. Again, these absorption signals, when they come in, they're not like live OBs. I don't typically expect them to run right away. I typically expect them to kind of sit around and give you that better like entry opportunity. Kind of like last night. Like, see how it calls it out and it sits there for a little bit because it has to work out the supply and demand. So typically I do expect these to sit and kind of react. Whereas if something forms like a live OB, like what you saw over here on like EU, like we expect this to move relatively quick. Like, see, it formed, it did a couple little bit of minutes of retest. And you might say this is like, you know, a decent amount of time up here too. So time perception is going to be different for everybody. Like, this is not terrible. This moved relatively quickly. It came back for another retest, which added some time there, but generally moves pretty smooth, pretty quickly. Again, this may not be the best example. I'm just showing the most recent example that's fresh in my memory here. Yeah, this ES going good so far. We are up on this. This is continuing to pull stuff here. Stop loss hit in the Dow. Yeah, ignore these stop loss hits. These are. I gotta fix these alerts. Like, see, this just alerted the stop loss hit, but this is like. Trader ran for a 1 to 8, so I have to do something to disable this. That's my bad. I didn't test the alerts at all. I literally threw them on. I literally threw the code on there last night and was like, all right, publish. So I gotta fix that. That's my bad. All right, let's see if these continue for us. Again, I would like to see this push below the lows here on ES. It is possible this is also doing exactly what I asked for it to do this morning, which was push below here and then end up going up. So yeah, we're kind of fighting my original thoughts for the day. Gold's calling a live OB now. So again, this is something you would take right on the alert, especially when it's pushing up like this and giving you the retest. Again, I'm not taking this because I'm not really bearish gold, even though I'm already in S&P and not bearish there. But yeah, maybe you get like a nice 1 or 4 there, maybe. Again, if not, then statistics. Music louder than your voice? Really? My music is lower than it usually is. Hold on. Did I not turn it down on YouTube? I did not. That better? That should be better. Hopefully. This week has been so... It's different for everybody. Like, honestly, like... That's the thing, like a week can be really good for you, it could be really bad for you. And it's it's so situational. It can even depend as simply as like the time that you're looking at the charts, right? Sometimes we get on in the morning, and we're like, damn, we should have been up earlier. If everything just moves during Asia or London. And that's got nothing to do with you or your strategy, it just got everything to do with the time of day. Whereas somebody who has like work at 7 o'clock in the morning, they might have been up at 5 to trade, you know, take a look at the market. So it's like that person might be on fire just purely because they're awake earlier. Same strategy, same everything. You know, so it's trading is there's so many variables like that people just forget about. Alright, anyway, S&P looking alright so far. Again, hopefully we don't print absorption signals the other way now, which is completely possible. NASDAQ kind of starting its thing. The Dow hasn't really moved too far. Gold gave you the retest and is tempting to go down. So again, I'm just in this S&P trade. If we do get a push down towards these lows, I'm gonna look to see if I can reduce my risk. If I can reduce my risk just above these candles would be fantastic. Again, just conserving capital in case the trade does end up turning around. Some people will be like, why don't you just go break even? You could do that too, if that's, you know, that's what you prefer to do. I'm just narrating on what I'm gonna do. So far, so good here. I kind of wish I probably could have snuck another two contracts in without going crazy on risk, but it's easy to say now. Easy to say now. Now the market's gonna see, because you said that, watch me bouncing back real quick. Yeah, I do want to be careful here though, because again, like I said before, if we do get these push downs, it could very easily be some absorption to the buy side as well. There might be more opportunity in that, honestly. But again, we're gonna stick with this until the market proves us wrong. Gold's still not doing too much with that live OB. Again, if this continues to sit here, because this is not, again, like, I still would prefer this above the Wednesday highs, which is why I didn't put a test contract on this. But if you were gonna take something on this, like, I'm pretty sure on 1 micro on gold, for every 1 micro, you're probably risking, I don't know, what's it, 50? I want to say it's probably like an $80 risk, $90 risk maybe. It's like not terrible if you wanted to throw a test contract, but alright, yeah, I'm gonna reduce my risk here on this as we approach these lows. I'm gonna go above the close of the open candle. So this saves me about 40%, which again on 1 contract is like nothing, but and if we can reduce our loss by anywhere between above 30%, we try to do it. You're in it now, in what, gold? Or did you just set a limit right at the retest? Alright, yeah, so the Dow broke lower, so yeah, we're gonna definitely, you didn't reduce your risk, I would definitely reduce your risk. Oh, what's that then? Okay, this is now printing sell-side signals on EU, the absorption model, so that could be beneficial to gold. I see gold starting to drip there for you now. Again, if you would have been playing all alerts, you probably would already be down 1R on the absorption. So you need this thing to run for at least a 1 to 2 just to break even. Just keep that in mind statistically, right? Alright, yeah, S&P bouncing back. We need to get out of this. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna get out of S&P here. Alright, yeah, we broke even on this. Again, maybe that's a mistake. Maybe we're panic closing for no reason. Again, we'll see, but no reason for me to let that come back. Especially since I discussed this morning that if this does push down, we don't want it. And who knows, if this 5-minute closes like this, it might actually print an alert. So out of S&P. And it printed, we tried, lost no money on it, we're good. Curious if this calls this now. The buy side. If it does, I'm gonna take it. Honestly, I might just take it either which way, but curious if this actually prints. Nope. Something else prints. A Bitcoin trade, I don't care about that. Oh man, okay, I printed on the old indicator. Yeah, I'm gonna still take this buy. I'm gonna reverse this and go for the buy, and that's probably gonna be my last position for the day, because I'm not gonna keep flip-flopping on direction. This did what I talked about before, where it pushes down into this little pocket. Then now we printed the buy, we're gonna take this and just run the low, and we'll look for the full. I mean, ideally we get above here, but I would love the full TP by end of day. Would be fucking fantastic. Yeah, that's gonna be my last trade for the day. I'm gonna let that rock out. Again, we're kind of fading one indicator with the other, but I like this call on everything. Yeah, this call on Nasdaq as well. The call on the Dow, not call on the Dow. How's gold doing? Gold sitting there. This called on both as well. Alright, let me just make a note that this is off. Maybe OBs. Alright, we had a little flip of position. Alright, anyway, I'm gonna let this play out for a few minutes. I'll be right back. I turn up the music. BRB though.
Now
looking good, looking good, looking good. Yeah, see, the Dow took out these lows. Did this form anything? Oh, this wasn't confirmed, huh? Oh, goddamn, what a shame. Gold's still sitting around entry if you did take that. S&P pushing... Alright, it's moving, it's doing things, it's trying. Hopefully we can push above the open high, which would be fantastic. If it does that, I'll end up going break even probably. And I'll probably go enjoy my day at that point, honestly. I have to go finish putting some stuff together in my bag. And I just realized I also have to kind of run out and do an errand or two before I actually fly out, so. Alright, come on. Come on, baby, give us the push so we can go break even. Finally got some internet? Well, congrats, bro. I don't know if that means like new internet or, but either which way, bro. I will be taking the day after this session. I was too excited to not come live, honestly. Oh yeah, Jordan's gonna kill me when he finds out I bought a flight to a state that's not his. He's probably gonna stab me. He's only gonna fly to AZ and stab me. Which would be welcomed if you're on here and can hear me. Actually, I didn't think that. Actually, you know what, dude? Nah, Texas, not. Fuck Texas, bro. Texas be too random with the weather, bro. I swear Texas is in the news every day for some sort of random weather event going on over there, so I'm protesting that state for now. Figure out their shit over there. Alright, but this S&P is going good. Again, we did reverse directions. Again, we didn't take any loss on that reverse. We did push down, but again, like I said, if we push down and recover on that morning open, then I would rather have been long, just based off what I kind of seen on NASDAQ holding pretty well on the overnight action, so I suspected buys would be better direction for today. Again, we did try to play the signal. Again, it produced a couple points of profit, nothing that we closed, but closed on break even, and then we printed on the 5 minutes, so we reversed our direction there. Again, would love to get above this wick so we can remove the risk on the day, and then I can just go break even and kind of chill. Again, I would be looking to target above the overnight highs. So first target, obviously, taking out the highs above here at 62.74. And then if we can get really excited today, it'd be fantastic if we can get up towards, you know, almost like fresh highs on the week, right? Yeah, let's say, there should be fresh weekly highs up there. So that would be real nice if we can get some action behind us today. I feel like the market could be relatively excited that Bitcoin is pushing 120k. Maybe the market doesn't care. I don't know. But I mean, I would be. I mean, I'm excited. I am excited. So let's hope that the S&P can be as equally as excited and say, "Hey, look what we can do. We can make new highs too." So yeah, that's what we're hoping for today at this point. I need some more YouTube streams. Yeah, I mean, I stream Tuesday through Thursday, and that's already more than I like to do. So this is just a bonus because I was feeling real good. You know, if you know, you know. So I was just excited. I wanted to come live. I wanted this new indicator was popping. Right, just published the new one. Again, the new indicator technically is gonna hit a loss in a second here if the other indicator wins. But that's okay. We forgive her. It was a good attempt. A logical call out. It gave us enough movement to, you know, reduce our risk and not catch a loss. So I forgive her. moved and it turns out there's no internet here. That's crazy. You bought a new house and they didn't have internet ready? I'm not gonna lie to you, I would return the house. I would, yeah. It wouldn't even been an option. I'm actually looking at that myself, and I doubt anybody on here can help me with this, but if anybody here is in, like, the mortgage game for any reason, I would love it, especially if you know it's already possible, you have existing people that you've done this with. I would be able to leverage my Bitcoin into any sort of collateralized loan for real estate would be fantastic. So that's like currently where I'm putting all my research into. Got a couple websites, I know it's possible, but I'm looking for the safest option, in which, again, I still retain ownership. I'm not looking to sell. I was looking to leverage and use by the end of the year. So again, if people in this space have knowledge, experience on that, even if you just know, you know, US institutions that are doing that, I would much appreciate you to DM me about that. But yeah, I wouldn't even be remotely buying a house anywhere if there was no fucking internet there. I would return the house. I'd call my brokers so quick and be like, nah, dude, this ain't it. This ain't it. You didn't tell me this. Either that, or I would have bought Starlink like day one. That's probably what I really would have done. If you already closed on the house and you found out there was no internet, I would have bought Starlink so quick. Yeah, yeah, true that too. Where are you at anyway? Where there was like no internet options whatsoever. It's crazy. Ethereum sells. It's called out the high on Ethereum before as well. Again, not that you would ever sell your Ethereum bag because of that, but what was I just looking at? Yes, yeah. Alright, let's see if we can get this break even here. I really gotta be off this by like 10:15, 10:20. You watch Tesla? Yeah, I am a Tesla shareholder. I'm a very happy Tesla shareholder. Irrespective of what you think about Elon, that's besides the point. I'm just big on not having to drive, so I love autonomous vehicles. As far as seeing it come down to 270, I mean, I would love, I mean, obviously I have this liquidity marked off, so I kind of welcome that. If I was going to be looking at adding some more shares, 270 would definitely be like the first area I'm looking at. I mean, I would look for it to liquidate 270, so really you're looking at like more like potentially 260 and below. Again, like this candle is of interest to me. I mean, the gap may be interest to some people, but there's a million gaps on charts like this, so yeah, I would like something like that. The only thing that kind of concerns me with us breaking the 270 level would be there really is no clear liquidity grab below 217. I don't really see a reason for us to remotely get that low. But yeah, below 270 would be nice if you were looking at adding on shares of this. Of course, that's not necessary. The only reason that I would warn you about, like maybe the reason we don't take this, is because this is very obvious absorption to me. Right, you have a harsh, high volume move, and you don't break the liquidity. That's absorption all day. So you could hold above this. Again, the fact that we kind of have absorption the other way too, with like this big scary buy candle, a lot of volume that we faded off from. So I'd probably put my money on it that this does get taken in its current state. Like if you were like, hey, I need a plan on what's gonna happen, this would be my thoughts. But I wouldn't be surprised if it just went up either. And as a shareholder already, that wouldn't bother me. Yeah, I like that. I like it at 270 or below. Again, it would be really unfortunate if it were to test under 217. Again, I could see that as well, but again, the market's pretty bullish, so Elon would have to kind of really fuck up for that. Yeah, I like it below 270 for sure. Obviously an area that I've been looking at already. Alright, yes, playing with this width. I would like to see a closed above in order for me to go break even here. You could reduce your stop some. You could definitely reduce your stop to like the close of these candles instead of down here. Save you close to 30%, close. If you really wanted to, you could do it. Weekly trap candle at 240. Still for shit today. Weekly trap candle at 240. So I wouldn't really, unless you're talking about this candle, but we've already tested below this. Yeah, I wouldn't really say there's a... Like, this is, like, I would say this is your weekly trap candle, right? The same range I have marked, right? This is a better trap candle than whatever this is. This is not a trap candle in my definition. Or as I call it, a lone candle. And I probably have dojis filtered out. Of course I do. Yeah, this is not even picking any of this up as valid. Yeah, I don't know. I would still say that this 270 candle is your weekly trap candle if you're following that logic. I wouldn't call it the 241 area of interest unless again you're looking at something more to the left. But I don't think you are. Yeah, big fan of Tesla stock myself. Alright, yes, getting that nice push up. Come on. I would consider the doji one if you like candles that are dojis. I typically don't like candles that are dojis, but if you do, then yes. I would say on that Tesla weekly chart though, like that's probably not how I would be looking at like liquidity on any of this. Again, like the weekly trap candle for me like would have been this candle, so it's like. We already tested below this over here. We're already recovering from that. So, like, this would be your only other next best option if you liked doji candles. Which, again, I do not, but... Again, I digress because on other time frames, it's just a build-up of liquidity, so... I like that area anyway, so you might as well say it's nice on the liquidity. Come on, yes. What are we struggling here for? NQ's still struggling as well. Yeah, we might get a range-bound day if we can't break above here. It is possible we just do nothing today, and we kind of just do some bullshit like this. So, gotta prepare for that. In New Jersey? I can't believe there's anywhere in New Jersey that doesn't have access to internet. That's... like, you say in the middle of the forest in New Jersey, like, that just doesn't even sound like a real sentence to me, honestly. I mean, I believe you from the sense of, like, trusting you as a person, but I kind of find it hard to believe that we haven't gotten internet to everywhere in the small state of New Jersey. But... I mean, I guess. Sounds like we have a major infrastructure problem if that's the case. That's nuts. Honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't even like. Yeah, I really can't believe we don't have full internet coverage. The state of New Jersey is crazy. That's what I'm saying. I was definitely expecting like a Midwest state, like Texas, even like Florida, because Florida is known to have like really shitty internet, and I have a friend who had like problems getting like internet in Florida, or getting good internet in Florida. But New Jersey was like not on my list of states at all for you buying a house and there being no internet. I'm still finding that hard to believe. I have to ask Gemini what's the internet coverage. What's the internet percentage, like the percentage of internet coverage in the state of New Jersey? This is gonna give me like 99%. I hope it does. Yeah, this says Broadband now reports that around 99% of New Jersey residents have access to wired broadband speeds. That's crazy. Yeah, 91.8% of households in New Jersey have a like you're literally in the lower, like your house was built in the lower 10%. That's crazy. You must be like one of the first people to live in that area of New Jersey. That's nuts. Where am I from? I'm from New York originally, which is also why I couldn't believe that statement. But I currently reside in South Carolina. And then hopefully soon to reside, ideally in Scottsdale, Arizona, which is where I'm going in a couple hours here. Honestly, one of my biggest regrets was like honestly not buying property like I planned to in Arizona in like 2019. I was like so close to pulling the trigger on something. I just didn't do it, and then immediately after that, just values skyrocketed. Specifically, like they had like the highest percent growth across like the entire country in Scottsdale. And just to no end, bro. Like I've been waiting literally 5 years. It's now 5 years later, and I don't even think I'm gonna find still even like anything good. But it is what it is. My situation is different now too, in like a much better way. So it's like a blessing and a curse. Alright, anyway, I'm hoping to get this closed above here so I can go break even. Because I do need to hop off here and go take care of a few things and scramble around here, so. And then I leave you guys to backtest these indicators all weekend on your own. And for those of you that don't have access, I don't know, maybe I drop like a little trial, a 5-day trial that'll get you guys to like Tuesday. Yeah, maybe we do that. People could test it, back test it. And maybe we do that. Alright, 20 seconds. If we get this closed like this, honestly, whether we not get this closed, I'm probably gonna just end up removing my risk anyway. Yeah. Alright, we're just gonna go break even. That's my day. If the S&P breaks out and continues, fantastic. If it does not, also fantastic, because I won't lose anything on this trade. So, took 2 trades today. One to the sell side on S&P based off of a 3-minute absorption model, which again, it broke structure, started to recover, so we went break even on that. And then we printed the 5-minute live OB to the buy side, and we took that, and now we're break even on that position. And again, we'll see if we end the day flat or if we end the day with a couple extra bucks in the pocket. But yeah, love and appreciate y'all, family. I gotta go take care of a bunch of stuff today. Thank you guys for hopping on. Appreciate y'all. I'm out of here.